Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Optical View podcast. Today I'm joined here with
Majeste.
Dylan. Thanks for coming on. I'm super excited to have you. I think the viewers and everybody listening is going to be in for a real treat with kind of what you bring in your story. Now, before we jump into the juicy stuff and more about you, I have some quick rapid fire questions for you. Okay? Favorite genre of music?
Rap. Definitely rap.
Rap?
All day long.
Okay, who's your favorite rapper?
That's a really good one. Big X, Eminem, 50 Cent.
Okay.
More of the old school.
Old school stuff. I like it,
Tupac.
man. I like it. What would you say your favorite thing about yourself is?
My favorite thing about myself is doing martial arts because I like getting physical aspects, and it also helps me with staying focused, discipline, self-control, how to overcome struggles and obstacles in life. So that's why I like doing my kickboxing. So it keeps me doing my thing and focusing.
Okay. We're approaching Christmas here. Doesn't have to be a physical gift, but what do you think is the best gift that you ever received?
Spend time with my family.
Spend time with family.
That's all that matters. I don't mind about the gifts, or I don't mind about the presents and stuff. I'm mostly into my family and spend time with them and actually having the one-on-one and the traditional games and routines we do. So it's good to have a family time, Christmas spend time.
Beautiful. I'm gonna flip that around. What do you think is the best gift that you ever gave?
Oh, my best gift that I ever gave. Oh, my best gift that I ever gave was new punching gloves.
Ooh, who'd you give that to?
Who I gave that to was my brother.
Marco?
Marco. Yeah.
All right, I want to touch on him in a little bit, but let's keep going here. Do you have a favorite quote? If you do, what is it?
I don't really have a favorite quote, but Bubba says this, big dog season.
All right.
So it's more of a hype quote because we're training hard and we're getting ready for a fight. And if we get any kind of nerve or any kind of tension, I'm just what season is it? Big dog season.
Big dog season.
Because it's
All
ready
right.
to go.
I like that, dude. I love this question. This is one of my favorite questions I have. If a movie gets made about you, who would you want you to play in the movie?
I don't really have a specific person or character, but
It's a tough one, eh?
I know, right? Because it's you have a bunch of people that you really want to be in part of the movie. You know what I'm saying? But you can't really specifically. Does it have to be a movie character, or it has to be or anybody in
Anybody, like a actor. Maybe you just say a couple people.
Okay, well, I don't really know any movie actors because I don't know too much. But people in my life, Xavier Keane, one of my friends.
Okay.
Because I think he's a really cool guy and he's a really jokester.
Shout out Xavier.
Shout out to Xavier. Also Bubba, because
all right.
Because the reason why is because this guy will come in with no plan into class and he'll say some jokes and it's just did you plan this out? And he's no, and he's just he's going for the road. Definitely, I have to give it to Justin Buckman as well.
All right, JB, yeah.
JB, because, hey, it's story time. You ready?
All right.
He brings it in and he's actually speaking facts, and you're just shit, what's going on,
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the three people in general.
Okay, I like that. Now, I love tattoos. I've got 5 on me. What's your favorite tattoo that you've seen either on you or I don't think you have any tattoos, do you? No.
I don't have a
What's your
tattoo.
favorite tattoo that you've seen on somebody else?
Favorite tattoo that I've seen on someone else? Bubba. I like the clock with the dove.
Yeah.
Because of the time and how things in life is perspective that's going on. And I also liked some of the guys I've seen in in WAKO, in kickboxing, they have this lion tattoo that's going down.
Yep.
And have different animals and stuff, and I really actually like that because it's just spirits, animals, and how you are, and it tells a personality or perspective of you.
Okay.
But I don't but those are the 2 tattoos that I like. But really honestly personally about tattoos, it's whatever suits you and whatever. If you have a good story about it and it represents you your own personality and what person you are, go with it. I like that.
Yeah, Tasmanian devil. Let's get it, bro.
That's dude. I can see it. You're
Yeah.
wild. You're ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Pumped up. You really want to knock
sir.
out, get that win,
Yeah.
brother. That's how you go.
I love
you know?
it. I love it. You mentioned spirit animal. If you were to pick a spirit animal, what spirit animal is yours?
Cheetah.
Cheetah. Why?
Because
Why?
I'm fast. I like being fast, furious, and I like cheetahs because I also pet a cheetah
Okay.
in South Africa.
Okay.
So
That's cool.
Because if you can look at my Instagram, Majeste on Instagram, you could definitely see it. It'll be like a cheetah, me just petting it.
Beauty.
But yeah, I like cheetahs.
Were you scared? Were you scared petting that?
No,
No.
'cause
Bro, I'm scared even thinking of that, man.
Bro, when I walked in her and the zookeepers from South Africa was so this is a funny story. So like so me and JB were walking in a zoo and like the South Africans were like hosting us and they were actually showing us around about like South Africa and how things go. But when we were going to the zoo, like they took us to the zoo, these animals, like some of them you can't pet because obviously like some of them are like alligators and
Yeah.
But like the actual cheetahs, like they had baby cheetahs and they had actual cheetahs.
Okay.
So you get to choose which cheetahs you want to pet. And so I choose the actual cheetahs because like I don't mind the baby cheetahs, but like I like to see the real cheetahs.
Yeah.
Because like, and my friends were right beside me, like they were just like, no, we're not doing this.
Okay.
So I'm like, what the heck with it? I'm going in there because I need to pet a cheetah.
Okay.
I was like, I wouldn't say I was nervous, but I was shocked because I never really seen a cheetah like up close in person. But it's so cool because like the zookeeper was doing like a little introduction or like education about the cheetah, and like they said like if you actually pet this, it will make you really calm and like smoothing. So as I was petting the cheetah, I was like, wow, like my nerves and everything about my fights or like the upcoming fight that I have for the next week, I'm gonna fight against another South African. It all went out the doors because I didn't even feel nervous because I was like ready to go and I was just nerves were gone. So it was a good experience because like not only I pet a cheetah and like I get to see my spirit animal, but also that's why like if I was gonna get a tattoo, it would be a cheetah. Because it calms you down. I'm fast and they're furious. Okay. So those are the three things about a cheetah tattoo that I would get.
Okay. Now I have to ask you, do you have a fighter nickname?
Okay. So this is hard because I'm going to tell you a funny story about Lieutenant Dan, okay? So, I was fighting in Fight Factory of Muay Thai in Ottawa, okay? The commentators were calling me Dan Majeste instead of Dylan Majeste. Okay. So, instead of me basically getting called Dylan Majeste, they called me Dan Majeste. So, when I came back, Goran, that I used to train here, called me Lieutenant Dan. That's funny. And so, I was like, yo, who's calling me Lieutenant Dan? And I'm just like, and then everyone just start calling me Lieutenant Dan and like nicknames and stuff. Yeah, and then there's another one. People like I'm Jex. That's what you saw on my Instagram. It's Majex because a lot of my buddies were like calling me like Majex because instead of Majeste, it's like it's like a slang name. It's cool for like Majesty. But yeah, like those are the two nicknames I can think of. I forgot the other one, but the other one was from Nico. You know Nico that used to train at the gym. Yeah. So
he's an avid watcher of the podcast. Shout out Nick Cambasis too.
Shout out to you, Nick. I love you, man. I miss you. But Nick, honestly, dude, like I think we were like this is when we were like going to the Port Perry location. We were actually like doing like training of like MMAs and like kickboxing classes, and we were like listening to 6ix9ine, Tekashi 6ix9ine, that. So they so people like called me like because I was like Lieutenant, and then like I listened to a lot of Tekashi 6ix9ine, and I don't know why they call me Lieutenant Youngblood, but they call me that.
Youngblood.
I know. Okay. And so I was like, because I'm young, I was like young, and I'm like listening to the music through my blood, through my veins. So that's why they call me that. But like I was just like, who's calling me Lieutenant Youngblood? I'm just like, dude, I thought it was Lieutenant Dan, because like the natural nickname was Lieutenant Dan, because so I have like 3, but like you never know, because like you could go to the next fight and then all of a sudden someone will make a new nickname for you, and it's just like, where's this came from? So it was good, like you know, it's just like those nicknames like that comes along. It's just like it's like a gift because it's like because there's a meaning.
There's a meaning behind it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no matter what the situation is, you're always going to get a meeting like to your gifts.
And they're all different too, right? Yeah. What's your favorite one?
Favorite one, Lieutenant Dan, because the reason why is if you watch, oh my God, what's that movie called? That Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
And Lieutenant Dan is in there, right? So not only it remind me of like the commentary called my name Dan.
Yeah.
She said Dylan Majeste. But also remind me of the name of like the character actually Lieutenant Dan.
Jenny! Yeah.
And he's like, and then Forrest had to carry him on his back because it'd be numb. So it was good, and that's also like if you haven't watched the movie, like you gotta watch the movie because it's a banger.
Yeah. I'm not a movie guy, and even I've seen Forrest Gump.
Really?
So yeah. My man. All right. So I have this or that. 2 options. You gotta pick one or none. You can't pick both. One or none. All right. Audiobook or podcast?
Podcast.
My man. All right. Hot or cold weather?
Hot.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Morning person or night person?
Oh, night person.
Tacos or burgers?
Tacos.
That was a tough one.
I know.
You had to think about that.
Tacos.
All right. Pancakes or waffles?
Well, they're technically the same thing. I would say so. Okay, waffles.
Waffles? I pick waffles. All right. Soup or salad?
Salad.
Okay. All right. Introvert or extrovert?
Introvert.
Okay. Apple or Android?
Apple, because I'm an Apple person.
Okay. Now this next one, this divides my podcast. We have a straight line. You're either on one side or you're on the other, okay? So this is a make or break question for you, okay? Pizza or pasta?
Pizza, because I've been in Italy, Italian.
They have pasta in Italy too, though, don't they?
Yeah, but they're more of their actual pizza, because this is like, the pizza is actually very thin crust. They actually like roll it,
okay,
and it's like put into an actual hot stove oven, like a wooden burn fire cooled oven. So it's like, it's not like pizza where you just get on the store and it's just ready to go. It's like actually all authentic, and actually they make it like really, really good. So it was good. So that's why I say choose pizza over pasta, because pizza is better.
Okay, you have a good reason, so I'll let you slide on here, all right? So, obviously, Dylan Majeste here. Tell me a little bit about yourself, what you do, what you want to be known for.
So, like, but in what way? Like, what I am?
So, yeah, who you are. Like, what defines you? What makes you, you?
I'm a funny person, and I'm very easy to socialize with people. I always like to be loyal and nice to people. That's just me. I'm more of an active person. Like I'm an active person as well. Like I like to do the martial arts, and that's why I like doing martial arts, because it's like it defines me as a person of respect and discipline. And without me pretty much really doing martial arts, I don't know what kind of person I'll be, because I wouldn't be respectful, I wouldn't be disciplined, I wouldn't be focused. I wouldn't have the mentality to socialize with people, and I always really had a hard time socializing with people. But ever since I started doing martial arts, I overcome my fears. It gave me like opportunity to conquer my fears with other people, like to get to know with other people without feeling nervous to talk to them. Because now I'm not really nervous to talk to them, because now since I've gone through the discipline and the whole process of being at Kalsamrit Gym. What defines me is being a team player.
Yes.
Being socializing with people and stuff. Because in life in general, if I didn't have you talking to me, or I didn't have another person talking to me, I wouldn't really get better with my conversations or my introductions and stuff. So reality is find me as a person, funny, kind, nice, social, and a teamwork person. I like to be teamwork with other people.
Man, I love that. So you talked about martial arts. Obviously, martial arts is a big part of your life. When did you first get involved? Because you were young. I remember you were young.
Bro,
you were your young blood.
Okay.
All right.
So I started martial arts when I was 7 years old.
Seven.
Okay. Not 6. Yeah, I was 7, because 6 I was doing Taekwondo.
Okay.
But
so you really started it here when you were 7. So before that, you did Taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
Where did you do that?
I started that when where I did that at the.
Did that? Yeah. Do you still do it?
I don't do it anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Where did you do that? Yeah.
I did that at the Oshawa Children Complex.
Okay.
Where, that area they have swimming and stuff.
Yep.
So I did that there. I don't think they had it anymore, but I only made it. I still have my yellow white belt when I had it, but I didn't. I stopped doing it because it's just it wasn't hard, but like it was just focused on kicks. I want to do more things. I'm more of a multitask physical outspec person. Like I wanted to challenge myself with new things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when Kalsamrit Gym, little known, like was at Curtis, that small plaza with the pizza place beside it by Curtis North. So if you ever know, no one knows like Curtis High School and Curtis North Public School, like that's where it all started. Like it started in Curtis, and then it built up. And I remember like starting there when I was 7, and me and Brendan Kalajenic and Clinton and Goran and Alex, like bro, it's like it just sees like how big the gym community of Kalsamrit grew.
Yes.
So technically I started doing actual martial arts when I was 7.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm passionate about it and like the reason why I want to do it is because like I always been picked on when I was a kid. Like I always had people that tell me like you can't do this, you can't do that, like you would never be able to do this, you would never be able to do that. And you know, like when I had people that pushed me down and put me into like an area where I'm not being like saying I won't be successful, it drive me to be successful. So I started realizing that, you know, like doing martial arts is and doing the gym is like the most hardest physical complex thing that's going to have you in your body, because when you get out and socialize with people, like that's not going to be hard. Like I go to the gym and, you know, I spar with my friends or I train with them or do hard workouts. That's like mentally and physically hard. But then when I start going outside of the gym, like it's easy.
Life is easy
because I'm always been pressured here in a good way to overcome my fears and overcome things that I have in life. So that's the main reason why I started martial arts, because I had people that told me, like I had everyone from high school to public school that I used to hang out with. They told me, and then they stopped being friends with me. They stopped saying, like, they said, like, you're not going to be this, you're not going to be a national champion, you're not going to be able to do this, you're not going to graduate from high school. Now look at me now, like, you know, like, my point being said is, doesn't matter whether you do martial arts or anything. If you do a sport in general and you're dedicated in it, it's going to teach you some kind of discipline.
Yes.
And what I'm trying to tell people is, like, no matter what the situation is, if people are going to put you down, don't take it as a negative thing. Take it as a goal. Take it as a drive.
Prove them wrong.
Prove them wrong. Because now, when they look at you the next week, oh, he won a title belt. Oh, he did this. Oh, you know, he got a new job, or he got that dream job that he always wanted. You know, like, chase after your goals. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be the person that just sits there and be like, well, I'm not going to do this because, you know, I had people put me down.
Yes.
No. Like, who cares? Like, move on. Because the people that put you down, that were your friends, and was the kind of people that really appreciate you and really want to be like you, they're going to look back and they're like, I look like an idiot now because I could have been this guy's friend.
Yeah.
And I looking at him now, like I wish I was in his situation, because he could have gave me some advice to be better.
Yeah.
So that's where, like, you know, we have to, like, that's why I like going to the gym, because everyone's like respectful, everyone's nice, everyone's kind. We need that in this society. We need people to be respectful and nice to each other, because everyone goes through the struggles. You know, like I know a couple people that, you know, have a hard time in life.
Yeah.
But you have to understand that, like, no matter what the situation is, you have to, like, overcome your situations. And to be better in life, you gotta be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
It doesn't matter what you do.
That's where growth comes from.
Exactly,
right?
man. You know, like me and you know, because, like, you go to the gym, you know how hard it is. I seen you training every single day, you know, and that's why, like, it drives me to see, because when I see you drive in the gym, it makes me good, because I'm like, that's my teammate, you know, like, because like we're like a big tribe, we're like a big family. So I don't care if people outside of the gym that told me, like, you're not going to win nationals. Like, I had people when I went to WAKO nationals and I won my first title, but like my first belt. Like, it was the most exciting thing that I ever had in my life, and I couldn't have done it with all my coaches, all my family, all my friends, the people that love me. You know, like, And I started realizing that I could do more of that and win more belts and win more champions because I realized I have teammates that appreciate me. And I'm willing to help them too because I want them to be successful with their goals too.
Yeah.
Like, there's kids here, like, man, like, look at Sean McIntosh.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, that kid, he started like this, man, and now you've seen him all the time. Man,
I think he's taller than me, man.
Bro, he's beating people in IKF.
Yeah.
He's an IKF champion. He is a national champion. He's a provincial champion.
Yeah.
That kid is a stud. Like, same with Dimitri, same with Konstantinos, you know, so, you know, like, and Liam too.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like Lil Liam and Big Liam, man, you can't mess with them because, bro, they're like a double team, like, all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, and I'm also going to share a little bit about myself too. Like, when I was diagnosed with autism, right, you know, my mom did not, and I thank you to my mom because, like, honestly, like, I couldn't be more appreciated, you know, and I think everything in my life, that how I grew up and how, like, you know, everything turned out because, you know, it's good to be different. But when I was born with autism, and disabilities, like, you know, I couldn't talk till the age of 6 because I really had poor communication skills. I couldn't really do any math. I couldn't really do any English. I was really low IQ. But then I started realizing once my mom put time of, like, speech therapy and stuff, I started to be able to talk. And then I started able to talk at 7 and 8, and then, you know, like, all around, like, up to the age of 18, and, like, I'm still getting better, but there's still terminology of words that I don't know.
Sure, same thing with me, man. Like, I used to go to speech therapy too, right?
You know?
Certain words, like especially S's and TH's and stuff, I still have a tough time pronunciating different things. Like, I was in speech therapy for 4 or 5 years when I was younger.
You see, and, you know, and that's why, like, that's why I'm so thankful, and people should be thankful of speech therapy too. It's like, you know, it gives you an extra drive, and because that just shows, like, when people that put time into something and never give up, there's always a good outcome. Yeah. And when my mom didn't give up to me, and there's people that said to my mom that, you know, I wouldn't be able to talk and stuff like that. She didn't give up. She didn't give up because she knows I can talk. Yeah. She knows I can talk. And when I start growing up, like, I wouldn't be the person till this day without my mom supporting me. Yeah. And, you know, and with that support, like, I had a life. And I never really had a father figure in my life too, because my dad, you know, just a little personal stuff. Sure. You know, he never really talked to me. He never really socialized with me. He never really gave me the actual attention of how awesome as a son I am. Yeah. And, you know, like, he may have his own issues, and, you know, I respect the half of his thing, but at the same time, you know, my dad never really was close to me. And knowing that I respect his perspective, but I'm willing to move on. And then, but realizing that, like, when I came to the gym, like, I have awesome people that always love me and stuff. Yeah. So that's another thing too, why I joined martial arts, because ever since I started this Kalsamrit Gym, I started realizing that I have a family. I have multiple brothers, multiple family members, and, like, people who actually care about me. And knowing that I didn't have that in the perspective, I don't care, because, you know what? If one person doesn't like me, whatever. I have a bunch of people that like me. So this, like, sharing about me is just, like, I like, for people who have disabilities, especially with autism, ADHD, Down syndrome, doesn't matter. Okay. Like, if they're able to drive to a goal they want to do, and they become successful at it, go for it. I do not care what other people, like, I'm for people in general. Like, who cares for the people that says to you that, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that, you have this, but you wouldn't be able to do this. Like, or people without disabilities, people that also got put down too, you know? But in general, don't let that happen. Move on from it. Because now, once you realize that you're being able to do it, now they're going to be like, wow, that, like, how he was, like, from here, but now look how awesome he became as a person. Now I want to take a step back here. So
Describe, because I think there's different, I could be wrong, but I think there's different forms and levels of like autism.
Yeah.
Right? What's the one that you have? Is it social? What is it?
More of social.
Okay.
More of social. I really don't know what specific.
Sure.
Because like honestly, like I don't really like pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Because I know I have autism, but like I didn't really reality just like pay attention to it because I didn't let that affect me as a person.
Yeah.
And I don't really talk about it too much.
No.
Because
I didn't even really know, to be honest, until later on when you told me about it. I was like, oh, I didn't even know, man. Like,
and now you know. But like, I don't really talk about it because like I always had people that like that will look at me differently.
Yeah.
You know, like this kid has autism. Like what? Like,
yeah.
He's so good at socializing and stuff. And
yeah.
like. But to be honest, I wasn't always a good socializer until like
you spent time on it, you worked on it, right? Yeah.
So, and then also it's like this like I also have like not only I have like autism, but I also have learning delays, like learning like disabilities, and for me, and this is what's different between me and like other people is like for me to learn something. I have to be constantly reviewed, right? For other people, they can just be shown like once or twice or do something and they can do it right away.
Pick it up.
But at the same time, there's some things like, for example, martial arts or kickboxing or jiu-jitsu or the classes I do at Kalsamrit Gym, like I know right away because I'm so good at it because like I can visualize it in my head. But if it's something that like I'm not too familiar with that, because that's a tongue twister, I tend to like be slow at it. And that's where like, I started really having this issue throughout grade 9.
Okay, hang on a second. I'm going to pause you for a sec. So you talked about your accomplishments. I want to run through and you can add on to some of the accomplishments that I just have written down here. So you're how many times national champion? 1 or 2?
1.
Okay, 2-time provincial champion?
So no, not provincial yet. I came second, but I never became a 2-time provincial.
Okay.
No.
So 1-time national champion, right? For WAKO, WAKO, right? You were a Canadian team kickboxing, right? And you've traveled around the world kickboxing. You're a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belt. You're an MMA fighter. What's your record?
My record?
2-0.
I want to say for kickboxing, I am 3 or 4-0.
Okay.
And for jiu-jitsu there's really no record.
Yeah. What about for MMA? Because you had how many? 3 MMA fights? 2
MMA, I had one was a.
That was in MFL, right? That was So you won, then you lost, then you won, and then they called it a draw.
A draw. So that fight, I was really confused. So let me explain about that fight.
Yeah.
Okay. So that fight specifically. So he got me on the ground. I got him on the ground. We're going back and forth. But then it was a third round that really became a confusing.
Yes.
I threw a right cross, head kick, hook cross, head kick. The ref comes in, he does this.
Yeah.
He called the fight. Then the commentators were like, video replay. So they were like trying to get like a video replay. And then I'm like confused. I'm like, video replay? Where's the video replay? Yeah. And then they were gonna make us do a fight again, but then but at the age we were in, I was immature a little bit. Yeah. So, but now I'm mature enough because now I'm like I learned from my mistake, and I would say like I said some stuff, but then I realized that that wasn't me. You know. Yeah. But after they were gonna make us do a 4th one, the ref just like no, we're not doing this again because he came in and he's like no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. Yeah. So they just raised both our hands, and it was a draw, and that's it. And my goal is, to be honest, do MMA.
Yes.
Like that is my goal. And my goal is to become like a UFC fighter one day.
We're gonna get to that. We're
gonna get to that. Sorry, slow down.
So back to the accomplishments. You're a jiu-jitsu blue belt, right? For right now, right? I mean, grading is tomorrow, so that might change. Who knows? Right? And what other accomplishments would you say that you have? I'm sure I missed a bunch.
What other accomplishments I have?
In terms of martial arts here.
Oh, Okay. Well, can it be like social life or anything?
We'll jump to that in a minute. Let's
Okay.
just stay on martial arts. We'll jump to social life after that.
Accomplishments I've done. For example, school. I'll say
Okay.
school because obviously that's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
They told me that I wouldn't be able to graduate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna graduate this year.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have all my credits and I'm
Yeah.
gonna be able to go to college.
Yeah.
They thought that I wouldn't be at the level of academics than most kids.
Yeah.
Because I have like I have an education delay
Yeah.
disability.
Yeah.
But with all the time I stay after school at like 9 o'clock, and then like I stayed extra, I work on my schoolwork after school. I got extra help from one of my favorite ASP helpers, or like I think is it like, well, I forgot what they're called. They're like helpers, like students helpers.
Yeah.
And like they help the kids. I forgot her name. Well, anyways, this person was awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Like she's like the amazing person out of CCSS. She absolutely changed my life as a person, because not only I basically like prove everyone and like I can do schoolwork, but she took the time to sit beside me and like tell me about like, certain things, like, this is what this means, this is what this means. If you were going to do this, you have to do this. She was very, very like on point with tasks. And I find it really like, and I never really find high school very interesting, because like I had teachers that just said stuff and they're just like, oh, here you go.
Yeah.
They just write on the chalkboard and they're like, well, here you go, this is the answers, there you go. I'm gonna ask them like, how did you got the answers?
Yeah.
And then and I didn't really had time to study, because it's like, we all know what high school felt like.
Yeah, man.
You're always peer pressure to do something.
Yeah.
And it's just like shove knowledge into your brain, and then you're just like, and you're trying to spit it out.
Yeah.
But it's like, but when I got this extra time with this person, she just changed my life in general, because now like I got almost all my credits. I'm gonna graduate in just the end of the January 25th of 2024. So I'm gonna have all my 30 credits.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be able to go to college.
What's next? What are you going to college for?
I
know you're big into cars. Is it something to do with cars?
Oh, you saw my story, don't you?
I was talking to you at a few events, man, and like you know cars so well. Like I'm not a car guy, but you were telling me about it was like a Mustang.
Mitsubishi Eclipse 2016 Mustang.
Right.
MK Supra. Well, MK4 Supra.
So what are you going to college for?
I'm going to college for pretty much for trades, fundamental trades. Because the reason why is like, I know I'm hands-on, and I know I want to like, because the reason why I want to do trades is because I want to benefit the community.
Beautiful.
I want to help the community by building homes or doing something, or actually fixing things, because I want to help the community, because that's what I am. I'm a team player.
Yeah.
So trades is the number one thing, because like I feel like I'll be really good at it, because I'm hands-on. I'm a hard worker. I don't slack.
Yeah.
I take my time very well with things. So like if I need to take my time with certain things I need to be built, or tasks need to be
detail oriented,
or detoured, then I will be good at. So that's why I'm taking fundamental trades at Durham College in Whitby.
Beautiful.
Because I want to be able to figure out what kind of trade route I want to do.
Yes.
And and if I find one or two things I like, then I'll apply to a job.
Yes.
Or apply
apprenticeship
or a diploma into something that I like out of it.
Nice.
So do that, see how it goes, and then figure out what I want to do, and then still on the side, I'll still come to the gym, because that's still what I'll do. But even though my goal is to become a fighter, I need to have a backup.
Yes.
Because it's always good to have a backup, because you can still do what you want to do, but it's always good to have a backup, because then you have your life plan in ahead.
Yeah. Now, I didn't mention something, and I was wondering if you're going to mention it. I got to mention it now. You just got sponsored, right? That was Submission Syndicate? Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. How did that come about? What's the sponsorship mean for you? What are you going to do with it? You know, how does this benefit you and other members of the community?
Honestly, the reason why I just want to sponsor this Mission clothing is because the reason why is I don't want to benefit because I want to benefit myself. I want to sponsor it because I want to help someone reach their goals.
Nice.
Because, you know, these days it's really hard to get sponsorship. So for me to take along and help their brand or clothing, you know, I like it because obviously I got the smash and pass because I made, you know, one-on-one deal action right there. But also it's just like, it just makes me feel good because I'm helping someone to reach their goals. Okay. So it doesn't really matter the fact that it benefits me. Yes. But at the same time, it really makes me help them.
It puts eyes on their clothing, right? You know? I mean, you go everywhere, which that's the next thing I want to talk about, right? You mentioned national team member. You've been all over the world, man. You've been to Italy. You've been to South Africa. Tell me about everywhere that you've been.
Okay, I would love to talk about that. Which one should I start? Okay, South Africa, because
let's go with naming all the countries, then we'll dive into the specifics.
Okay, so South Africa, Italy,
U.S.
I've been to a couple of U.S. I've been to Chicago for Naga Championship.
Yeah.
That's the belt that I won down there.
Yeah.
I did the Pan Ams at Long Beach. What else I did? I went a couple places in like Ontario, like Niagara and like stuff. But like the two major places I've been were like actual like South Africa and Italy, and those were a game changer. And if I have to do like be on Team Canada again, like I will do that again. Okay. I like it.
Now let's dive into the specific countries. Now let's start with South Africa because you talked about petting the cheetahs here, right? So what was South Africa like for you? Who did you go with, right? And I imagine you went with Team Canada. Was anybody from this gym with you?
So Justin Bruckman, JB, you know JB, Uncle Justin.
He was on the podcast, former podcast guest.
He's basically he went with us, and same with my mom from April Majeste. That she went with me as well. Yeah. But those are the only two people like from my team that went with me. But like it was a good experience. It's like not only like I went with my teammates, but I also went from other people from the other gyms. Yes. Making new friends and making new team. And you know what? It's like, and then that state like just seeing, you know, JB like helping with the other teams from Team Canada, like that shows like teamwork and like, you know, and like everyone loved JB like on Team Canada. Like, man, like have you watched Peaky Blinders?
No.
Okay, so Peaky Blinders is
I know what it's about, but like I haven't seen it.
Well, you should see it. There's one time in South Africa where like all the Team Canadas got those Peaky Blinder hats. Okay. We all put them on. Yeah. And then Uncle Justin Bruckman looked at us and he's like, "Shit, what's going on?" And he's like, I forgot what he said, but it was so funny. And then we got like a big group pictures with all the Team Canadas with like those hats, those British hats.
That's the Justin.
I know that is Justin cat. Those were good. But like,
how was the food there?
Oh man. Food.
What did you eat? What did you eat? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So the food that I ate. So when I went to Oetelin or Oetvern, I forgot how it's a Dutch South African like part of South Africa. Okay. It's like a town or like a shit. Yeah. So they're the #1 capital of like ostriches. Okay. And like,
are those the huge ostriches?
Yeah. And basically, while I was there, they're known to eat a lot of ostrich. Yes. And you know, like how we eat chicken here.
Yes.
Like, they're like they have ostrich farms. Okay. So it's like that's their chicken.
That's their chicken.
That's their chicken. Okay. So basically, when we went to this hotel in Oetelin or Oetvern, I forgot how to. It's a weird name. It's
I don't know how to pronounce it either.
That's what it is. But then I started realizing like they were start serving this meat, and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" And it's like, "It's ostrich." I'm like, "Holy shit, really?" Yeah. I'm like, I was really nervous because it's like I never eat any exotic food, like any exotic food. And one of the South Africans that were like hosting us and cooked it for us, he's like, "Come on, eat it." And I'm like,
were you nervous?
I was nervous because I was like, am I gonna feel sick? Am I gonna? And actually, it's weird. It's like it tastes really good. It's just like it's like steak.
Okay.
But it's fudge. How you pronounce it? It's
gamey.
It's like that exotic gamey taste. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like.
Is it spicy or how did they season it?
How they season it's a normal. It's just how they cook a steak. Like they put their
salt, pepper,
butter and stuff. You know, and like made it like medium rare cooked.
Beautiful,
bro. It looked like a steak.
Okay.
Like, it legitimately, like if you were looking at it directly on a dinner plate, it was a steak.
What did they serve it with?
They serve it with like mashed potatoes. They serve it with like this ostrich eggs, like the yolk, like the actual ostrich eggs they crack.
Okay.
And it's just like it was mashed up and mixed up with like different spices of like rice and stuff.
Beautiful.
So it was really good. Like, and then I had like these massive when I was in Cape Town, I had those shrimps, those big shrimps.
Okay, yeah.
Like, dude, that was so good. And they were, and then like they're big, like they're like this big, like compared to like they're not your normal like.
No, they're the huge prawns.
The prawns were so good. Fresh from out of the water, bro. It was like it's crazy. And then like I also had a bit of Justin Bruckman's food a little bit because it was so good. It was like Springboks.
What is that?
So Springboks is basically, you know, we have deers in Canada. Springboks is a deer. Okay. And it's their national animal in South Africa, and it's just like deer, but it's how to explain it. I think you know because you would see them on like those animal commercials. Okay. It's those animals that jump high and they have their ear pointed and they have like horns going out. Okay. Like. If you know what a Springbok is, go search it up. It's basically like a deer. Yeah. And
it was good.
And it was good, man. Like it like I don't know how to explain that too, because it's like it's weird. It's like the exotic taste. Yeah. So I had that. I had ostrich, but besides that, like we mostly had like those. There was like this bread that was stuffed with meat and stuff in it. I don't know how to explain it. Okay. Because like we ate a lot, and they feed us good. Nice. Like it's not like I'm not talking about like you go to the hotel and you just get some food and you just eat it. No, I mean this is like a 3-course meal. Woo! Like bro, I mean you have your breakfast, you have your lunch, you have your dinner, but it's like on the actual like row like the actual like tables like there's like. Food slapped over here, food slapped over here, they feed us like we're like their family, you know. Okay. So it's like it was good, man. It was a good time. So the food there, like I'm telling you, like if I have to go back to South Africa, I have to go eat like the exotic food. Like they had other stuff, but like I didn't really try other stuff because I'm like, it's just like I don't think I want to try.
Okay. Now. Was South Africa the one that you had the weird competition? You won, you lost, or was that Italy?
That was MFL. That MMA.
No. The one where they said they disqualified you, but then they brought it back.
No, that was MFL. That was MMA. That was that.
It happened in kickboxing too. Didn't you win and then they turned it to a no contest, or you lost and like you need?
Oh yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Man, I'm trying to run through your fights in my mind. I'm like, man,
basically what happened for my first.
Was that South Africa? Or was that Italy?
South Africa. Okay. So that was my first fight. Okay. And my first fight was basically like it was really weird because it's like my first fight was. I was told it was K1.
Yes. Which is no knees to the head.
No, like K1 was no knees. Like they do knee. They do knee to the face, but like the rules in South Africa, like I wasn't told, and nobody like it was off. Okay. It was off, but at the end of the day, whatever, a fight is a fight.
Yeah.
So
what happened? You need the guy in the face?
no, I need the guy right in the sternum of the stomach.
Okay.
Right? And what happened is, so first round, so I walk on the stage, on the ring. He called my opponent out. We were going. I double jabbed him. I crossed him to the corner.
Yeah.
I head kicked him. I teeped him.
Yeah.
He started running this way. I cut the corner. I jump kneed him right into the chest.
Yeah.
He started talking to the ref.
Your opponent started talking
to the ref, like saying, "Yo, like what's going on?" And then I'm like, I'm frozen. And then JB was like, "Just hit him."
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I am hitting him. And then he started going back to this corner, and then he tried to throw a kick, but then I stepped cross into so I went to my jab, my orthodox, to my southpaw stance. I hit him. He backed out to the corner. Then I threw a cross hook, and I threw a knee.
Yeah.
Then he dropped on the ground. Then what happened is he was knocked out. So he was like he wouldn't get out.
Yes.
And so
did they give him the count?
So they gave him a count.
Okay.
But then it's like it was weird because now you got judge ring size, because in WAKO they have ring size judges, and they have clickers and stuff.
Yes.
And they tell the ref, and they have the higher table of power of the ref. So the ref has to do what they say.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Know? So one was saying, "Oh, give him the count." The other one was saying, "No, that disqualified." So they disqualified me because they told the other guy that it was low kick. And low kick is not K1. Low kick is there's no knees. You can punch, you can kick to the body, you can teep to the body, you can kick to the face, you can teep to the face, but there's no knee and clinch.
No knees whatsoever. Got it.
But they told us at the same time we're doing K1.
You and your opponent.
You and JB. You and JB and the rest of the Team Canada.
Yes.
So as it was disqualified, they just say I was disqualified. So anyway, so I walked back, and then they pulled me back from the warm-up room to put me back in the ring, and then they said, and then I technically won it because I knocked him out, but at the same time, it was low kick, so apparently they couldn't give it to me. But they gave it to me anyways because I won. So it was weird.
It was
weird because it's like I understand it was low kick, but my coach from Team Canada, because we have Maz and Maz, it was the head coach. He ran towards him to talk to him like, no, like, you know. So it was just even. It was just like me and him. We got our raise, and it was considered a draw, but like. Even though technically I won that fight, and I got the W because of the knee to the stomach, they couldn't really give it to me
because they already disqualified.
Because they could not only disqualify me, but they already told this guy this is low kick, and they already told me that it was K1.
Oh, so they made that mistake. Wow. So what happened the rest of the tournament? Were you done?
So the rest of the tournament I was just done, and then basically that's my opponent, and we're done. And then my second opponent is I fought this 14-year-old.
Still in South Africa?
Still in South Africa. And he was so hard to beat. Like he has kicks, he has punches, he has teeps. Like, man, like this guy was really, really good. And his name is Dylan as well.
No way.
I know, but Dylan Pedersen, I can't pronounce his last name.
Oh, good, yeah.
It's a South African Dutch name, and I believe so. And so anyways, I came out, and that's the one that I came with hooks. Yeah. Boom, boom. And what happened is their K1 is you're allowed to knee to the face, right? In our K1 in nationals, if you're under 18,
you can't,
or like certain bracket, you can't hit the knee.
Yeah.
I didn't know I could knee to the face.
Sure.
So like I wasn't told. So anyway, so he kneed me in the face in the second round. Oh, no, it was the first round. I got back up. I was ready. I was fine. I was ready to go. But then the ref called it, and then even though it wasn't a fair call, like
you know what? That's just a learning experience, right?
So it is what it is. So I didn't care. So then I just said to JB, and I just said to everyone, whatever. It is what it is. Just move on.
You're here in a new country fighting for Team Canada.
So, but all that matters is you're gonna win some, and you're gonna lose some, and even though that fight, the first one I did, like even though I didn't get it was technically they could give it to me. I won it because I said to myself, I still got that knee, I still got that drop, so that's it, and he won that, so it's all good, I'll take that,
Now I gotta ask you, okay, what country has better food, Italy or South Africa?
Okay, so that's hard, bro. Like, that is so hard because it's like I love my grains.
Yeah.
Because Joshino, he says, I get the cannolis and the gelato. You know what I'm saying? But also, it's like at the same time, like South Africa was amazing because it's like there's a lot of like exotic food that I like. Yeah. So it's like, if I have to choose, man, that's gonna be hard. I'm sorry, South African friends.
Oh, he's going
Italy. I have to go to Italy because the reason why is because they have a lot of grain food and they feed you so much that your stomach was like. You know when you ever like have
you're moving up a weight class is what you're telling me.
Yeah,
right?
what I'm saying, like like when you guys have like a friend that's Italian and they have a mom or they have a grandma and they're like eat and then they want to make you feel up, like that's the moment, man. Like that was the moment when I walked in there. I knew I was in for a treat and I'm ready. My stomach is ready to like get all big,
Beautiful. Okay, so I'm jumping around here. Let's talk about role models a little bit, right? So obviously you mentioned a little bit about your dad. We're going to move on from that. So I always ask this question because I feel like, for me anyways, I kind of grew up in the gym. So I have a lot of role models, especially male role models that kind of come from the gym scene, right? Like I would say Kubi, JB, all these people. Who are some role models in your life? Doesn't have to be male, but just in general. Who are some role models for you?
Role models in my life in general.
Could even be a best friend, it could even be, Josh or whoever,
Well, I have a lot, like just in general, like Brett, like Kruby, Bubba, definitely Bob, because
Big Bob McQueen.
I had to shout out to him, man, because like like he made me. Not only he made me be more aware of like being respectful and like how to be respectful to people and like also like make sure I put myself away because that issue. Okay, so I didn't put the weights away and then I made me do 50 burpees. So I was like, you know what? I learned my lesson. I'm not doing that again, and that's why he's a role model to me because he made me be more wise of how I use the equipment around the gym. Yeah. Role model outside of the gym, my cousin Hannah, and the reason why is because she was always there for me throughout my fights, for my MMA fights. She cheer me on, she shouts me out, she congratulates me. Like she was there when I was there, for tough times, when I'm had to like when my friends are just leaving me and stuff, and then she tells me like don't do that. So my cousin Hannah, even though like she's been busy with college and stuff, she's still my role model because it's like even though I'm older than her, like doesn't matter. Like she's a role model to me because she always she made me see the potential that she has, like what she's doing in her education purposes. So it makes me want to be a role model, just
That's
like
beautiful.
her. So, and same with people at the gym, like you, man. Like you're my role model. Like seeing you doing your podcasts and stuff, like bro, I'm like the second you pulled me into stuff, I'm like, dude, I gotta do it with you because this is like seeing your videos with those with 90 people and stuff, and seeing the conversation, the pep talk you guys have, and it's just like. It's good to have these because it's like not only you're just learning from different people's perspective, but different types of role models, different types of people, how to educate you, how to promote you, how to help you for life. Yeah. So these podcasts are good because it makes me share my knowledge to people and and help them if they have struggles for life too. So you're my role model.
Thanks, buddy.
Always.
You're a role model to me too. Now you talked about sharing your knowledge with people. I've seen this a lot. kind of from the sidelines. Sometimes I'm a little quieter than maybe I should be, but some of the coaching that you talk a little bit about that, because you're a phenomenal coach, right? The way that you are, you're assertive, but you're not mean. You're stern, but you're nice and friendly, right? Talk a little about how you coach and who you coach and everything with that inside the gym community.
So how I coach is basically is just by seeing the mistakes that I've done.
Yes.
Right? And the main thing too is I can't say to people that, do this or do that, because I know how it is, because I made the mistakes that I done in my fights, or just in general. So when I'm teaching the kids MMA classes, for example, you were there, the kids were doing double legs, but they were trying to blast through, blast through. But if you're gonna, you don't always have to pick them up, because some kids will try to pick them up and try to dunk them. Yeah. Sometimes you can pick up the guy, but if the guy's heavy, you can't pick him. You can't pick up. It's like me picking up Josh.
It's like me and you. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not picking up Josh because he's gonna squish me. Yeah. So how I coach is basically the mistakes I've done. Yeah. And sharing it back. And how I coach is not be like you said, not too stern, not too rough about it. Just acknowledge the mistake they've done. Yeah. But show them the reason why it's wrong. Yeah. And then that's how they learn. Because I find how people will learn is if I show them how it is and how it is done. And if I did and I show them on a person what they did it, they can see a better view of how it really is or what the reality is. Yeah. So coaching isn't easy, because everyone's different in coaching. Everyone's different. People like to use objects to show them how to coach. Some people like to be verbal to speak about it. Some people like to get a group of people and just drill it through, just let them do the drill and figure it for themselves. Yep. So there's multiple ways of coaching, and and that's why it's very important for me to realize I'm more of a hands-on coaching person. Yeah. Because the reason why is if I don't become hands-on and show it to them, and I try to explain it to a new person, they're not gonna have a better idea of what it really is. Because you're telling them mount, for example. If you're talking about mount to them and you never really show it to them, how they're gonna do mount? Yeah. So for me personally, I have to get another coach to show them how to do mounts. Yeah. And the way I do it for mounts. Because everyone do mounts differently. Yeah. For example, people do it sitting on top of them and have their hands on the ground. For sure. Some people like to have their legs behind their leg and really be out. There's different ways of teaching. Yes. So.
Well, man, you're doing sorry to cut you off. You're doing a fabulous job. I know a lot of the kids and even other adults, man, they love, for me, I love the way you teach, because exactly what you said, you go through all the ways. You verbalize it, you show it, and then you demonstrate it, right? So you get the feeling, you get the sight, you get the verbal, right? So so many people, including myself, man, they're really appreciative of you and all the skills that you share and the way that you're able to share it. I'm kind of curious and we touched a little bit about this before, on your goals. So talk to me not only about your martial arts goals, but your life goals in general.
My life goals in general. So one of my life goals in general is graduating from high school. Yeah. Because the reason why is because I need that diploma. Yes. And even though okay, cool, I don't have certain things or certain credits to graduate from it, because I need certain things. Yeah. I'm gonna graduate, and then what I'm gonna do is after high school is I'm going to get my fundamentals, or to get into the fundamental traits. I need to have my grade 11 English and my grade 12 math, but I think the fundamental course already touched on that, so I need the grade 11 English. So I'm going to be doing this upgrade course 2 blocks away from my house. Beautiful. And basically it's just only 4 hours of school, so it's going to be good, because then I can come back to here, train, and do my own thing, and go to there. So I have all the time for myself. And once I'm done that, then I go to college, find what I want to do, and then do a trade. And I obviously already touched base based on what I'm going to be doing for the why I wanted to trades and stuff like that. Yep. The second goal I want to do is not like being able to, not only just like become a pro fighter, but also be like more of a role model. Like, even though like I'm a little bit like a role model right now, one of my goals, second goals is like, how can I be more of a role model?
Yes.
And that's kind of hard, because it's like everyone knows how to be a role model, but the reality is like how more you can do it. So like, even if I'm not like don't make it to the UFC and I go to pro MMA fights, I want like all the kids to know that like if they have something they want to do in life, or in general, like if they want to become a pro fighter, like, man, it can happen.
Yeah.
Like, so goals is like being able to be graduating from high school and like getting into the trades, become a pro fighter and be a more role model. Third one, like, it's hard to talk about goals too, because it's like personally, it's a personal thing.
For sure.
But if I was gonna talk about like, my third goal is being able to save up, like being able to get my house, be able to have, all the essentials I needed, and be also financially be ready, and just like being smart, like just being, and just also like, being also goals is also being able to be smart, but also be able to do the things that I love to do on the side.
Yes. Yeah.
So as long as like, I'm alive and I'm feel good and I'm breathing and I'm drinking my water and I'm exercising and I'm getting my routines and hanging out with my friends, the 3 friends groups that I hang, mostly it's one of them.
Yeah.
But it's always Xavier King, because because as long as I'm hanging with my friends or hanging out with people from the gym or have a family, that's all that matters, man.
Yeah.
Like, and travel the world and becoming a fighter, and following my martial arts journey, that's all that matters, man. Because like there's more to come. I just gotta keep going.
Now we are slowly wrapping it up. I have to ask you about this because you are a huge car guy. I want you, even though I may not understand it all, I want you to describe your dream car in specifics to me.
Okay. Bro, like, you follow my stories, you know how it goes, damn. Dude, I really like cars in general, but if I have to choose,
unlimited money, what's your dream car?
MK Supra, man. MK4 Supra.
Any modifications? What's the color?
Honestly, not really. Like, just the way it is, because like guys who try like put a bunch of stuff on it, like like obviously I'll put like a turbocharger on it and stuff, and and like put like other attachments on it, but I just like the way it is, because it's just in general. There's a Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Okay.
That's another car I want. But if I was just a standard 2016 GT Mustang.
Okay.
Just standard, like just if that was going to be my dream car, GT Mustang, because it's a muscle car. You can't go any wrong with a muscle car.
What about in the wintertime? You can't drive that in the winter, man.
Can't drive it in the winter, so truck, I don't know what kind of truck. Still thinking about it, because it's like there's still other trucks.
Okay.
But if I have to choose a dream car, it'd be a GT Mustang. Okay. 2016 Mustang.
And I know you touched a little bit on this at the very, very beginning when we kind of jumped into it, on your brother Marco and your family here. Touch a little bit about on the influence that they kind of have and the influence that you have on them.
My brother, the reason why he has an influence on me is because seeing him like still doing wrestling and seeing me corner him, like being a big brother, you know what I'm saying? Being a big brother in his life, and like giving that supportive, like that kind of treatment that he has to him. Yeah. It makes me feel good, because like not only like he like become a role model, but seeing him trying his hardest, he's doing his wrestling tournaments, he's doing his no-gi tournaments, he's doing his jiu-jitsu. He always asks me feedback. Like that's what I want my brother to be. Yeah. Cause like seeing him always want to learn from me and always asking for help. Yeah. He helps me. And to be honest, I'm maybe 18 years old, but this kid is smart, man. Like, I am telling you right now, this guy will, this kid, if he has an opportunity to go to university or college, he can apply at both because this guy is so smart. And he helped me with my schoolwork. Like, it seems embarrassing, like 18-year-old getting a 13-year-old help, but it's true. It's true. Like,
he is. Yeah.
Like, dude, like, I'm telling you right now, you talk to this guy, like, this guy is like seriously the most smartest person. He's at a university. He has to be at a university level and a college level because like he helped me with my English, he helped me with my math, but he explained to me, and I'm just like, dude, like how you are able to do this, but you don't know my work. Yeah. And then he's like, because it's not that hard. I'm like, shit, man. Like, you know
a saying my dad used to always say, it's not hard if you know how to do it.
Exactly. It's not hard when you know how to do it. And you know, like, some people are just gifted that way, you know? So he's gifted. So the reason why he's a role model to me, because not only, like, we help each other out for our goals. Yeah. But, like, dude, like, I just basically just, like, feel so fulfilled because, like, he's my only brother that I have. And, like, I'm happy the way he is, and like how he progressed, how he came so far in life. And that's why I'm also becoming the role model to him, like because he's going to college. I mean, high school. Yeah. When I'm done, because after this, I'm 2024. He's going. Yeah. But I'm trying to educate him that make sure you know what you want to do because I made the mistakes that I rely on the guidance to help me, like the guidance people to help me with my
with your choices and
they messed me over, and now I basically have to do all these extra things when I could have just went through.
But you're still getting there, though.
I'm still getting there, right? But that's why, like, I'm also becoming a role model for him too. Is because now I'm telling him that these are the mistakes that I have done. Yeah. So make sure you do this, and I'm making sure that he's accomplishing his goal, so he doesn't have to go for that.
Man, that's wonderful. I have a question here from Josh. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
It's I went around. I had to ask him. You know, like I don't know if you consider him this. I know he kind of does to you, anyways. You know, at least best friends, right?
Oh, I understand.
So Josh kind of wants to know, when you were kind of growing up a few years ago, you made the transition from more grappling based to more striking based. He wants to know why you went that route. Why did you kind of choose more striking versus grappling?
I still like grappling because I still like the aspects of it, but the reason why I went from more striking is because the reason why is I want to be more violent. I want to be more violent because, like, I had kids at my school that says, like, yeah, you're a grappler and, like, you strike, but, like, and you do good slams and stuff, but, like, do you know how to punch them? Like, so then I just, like, whatever, and then, like I said to Bia, like, I want to fight. Yeah. Like, I want to be a gladiator in that ring. Beautiful. I want to, like, smash.
There you go.
So I transitioned to striking because the reason why is because it's just more violent and more physical out of it, and I want to become more tougher because it just teaches me how to become more a aggressive person than a non-aggressive person. But I'm still doing it with my grappling because even though I'm doing my striking, I'm still doing my grappling because I still love shooting takedowns and I still do that. So wherever there's a tournament, I'm doing that Durham Classic. Yep. And I'm gonna do absolute, and you see, I'll do absolute, and I'm gonna get that W. So it's not the fact that I want to leave grappling because I don't like it. Yes. It's did because I want to try something new and I want to go to a new route. But I'm still coming back to the grappling because I still physical too, and it's I like choking guys and strangling them. Yeah.
Now I'm moving on to the last questions here. Before I jump into the last questions, do you have any questions for me?
When did you start this podcast?
I started that. It would have been turned out to be the last year of the pandemic. It would have been 2022 December. It was right before the new year. So I actually had a couple podcasts lined up in the new year, but I was very strategic. So when I went around and I started researching podcasts, something I noticed was after the 1 year mark, it says the first date that the podcast was released. And it would say the year, 2023. Shoot, so I thought I want to do 2022 to make it seem like it's been around longer. So I scrambled around And I actually grabbed a good friend of mine who just sold his card company. It was 289 Card Sports. And I said, hey, any chance you can get this in before the new year? Because that way, when you go and look up my podcast, it says 2022 versus 2023.
Yeah.
Right? So I started that. It would have been December of 2022.
Shoot, man.
Yeah, like I said, I have 90. I think I can't remember if you're 90 or 89 or 91. I don't know what episode we're on.
You lost track because there's so many people,
know,
you know?
But yeah.
What is the main reason you joined Kalsamrit?
So I was at Bruckman Martial Arts for, I think it would have been 3 or 4 years prior. And it was funny enough, I was in college. And Crew B was teaching the Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. And I was in college and I had a Tuesday and Thursday class at 9 a.m. So I ended up going to one of the classes at Bruckman's, which Crew B was teaching. And I thought, man, I really enjoy this because we didn't have that kind of striking. We had other good coaches and striking coaches there, but it was different. And the class slowly started to diminish. And I kept skipping college to go to these classes.
So it's like actions come with consequences, but it's all good.
So at one point there was only me and one other person, 2 people total. And I went to Bruckman and I was like, hey man, like how long are you keeping these classes going? And he goes, you keep showing up and I'll worry about that. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay. So then I wanted to get more sparring in and get different people there. So I ended up, Brendan said, how don't you come by our gym and start sparring more? So just the way it kind of worked out is I ended up kind of just transitioning over. For a little bit, I was actually paying both memberships at both gyms. And then finally, I just said, I'm just going to switch to Kalsamrit. And then obviously, unfortunately, what happened with Bruckman's is he shut down. And, I stayed here. So.
But you're always part of the family and the team.
Yeah.
No matter what the situation is.
No matter, that's it, man. Like, I love what Justin says, right? Is like we're all like misfit toys. You know what I mean? Like, there's a few things I think that connect people. Is you get music. You don't need to speak the language to understand music. Food. You don't need to know. You can go to Italy and not speak Italian,
but you still love the food.
You still love the food, and I think the last one really is fighting. You go anywhere in the world and you can connect with somebody over a fight, right? Going all the way back to like the gladiator days when there were people in, Colosseums fighting to the death. People would gather around. You don't know that person, but you were there watching that fight, and so. I love that, like we're always a family, no matter what you do. If you do martial arts, and it doesn't really matter the skill level or where you're at, is part of the family. And especially if you join Kalsamrit, now you're part of the Kalsamrit family, right?
100%, because you're always part of the family.
Yeah. So I've got 3 closing questions here. I ask these to every one of my guests, all 90 episodes. One of the questions changed a little bit, but they're all the same. The first question, you have to pick 3. What 3 qualities do you possess that make you successful?
3 qualities. So like qualities in general?
In general. So maybe a common one is like hardworking or perseverance or anything like that.
Well, very simple. Perseverance, hardworking, and very social. Because those things really is like I'm a hardworking person because I always hustle through class or training.
Yeah.
Social because we talk to get an understanding of a technique or understand something in life or get better in something. I socialize with people because it's just way I learn, because it's like I could get different people's views to how I get better in life. And those are the 2 things I will say mostly about me, because I'm hardworking and I'm always to be a social guy because that's the way it is.
Okay, I love that. This question I think is going to be especially interesting to you, and I think if I have you on later down the road, this might change, your answer might change, but let's see what it is right now. If you could go back in time, what is something you would tell your younger self?
Holy moly. Okay, so if I can go back in time in 2019.
Okay.
2019 when I was in grade 9.
Okay.
Do not get nervous.
About what?
Of fighting.
Okay.
Do not get stressed out and do not get in my head. Because I started realizing when I started doing more fights down the road, like I still was good, but I always had that fear and that stress in my mindset. But now I'm working on that to improve, because now I'm starting to read a book called The Studies of Meditation, or I forgot I gotta go back and see it. So next episode I'll bring in a book and I'll show you about it. But basically, it just teaches me how to meditate and how to relieve stress, how to breathe in my inner core, and like find my existences, and like also like how to be really relieve my stress and let my stress go, like just let it go and stuff. Yeah. So if I would have told myself at 2019 at 14 years old, because that's when I've been like, cause most kids starts at 14, stop being nervous. Stop being scared, because like, dude, like you're doing this fight for a purpose because you love it, right? Yeah. If you're gonna be nervous about it, there's no sense of doing it, right? So like, if I could go back in time, like in 2014, like I still won the fight, but like I was still nervous, but I should have just go on my knees right to a little me, like down to here. Yeah, you saw me, 96 pounds, not 140.
Now you're like this to me.
Bro, I'm just like, dude, I'm skyrocketing. Like, what the heck? Like, reach for the stars, like Buzz Lightyear. But yeah, I would just go on my knees for that one, and for the little version of myself, and say, look, stop being stressed out. Yeah. You got this in the bag. Like, everyone is scared and nervous, and even if they're trying to like lie, like, no, I wasn't, and they're trying to be all cocky and nice, that's cap. Yeah, that's cap, because everyone's nervous. Everyone has that little nerve. You just gotta have that reality just to control it. Yeah, embrace it, consume it. Like John Jones. Jones, he got that butterflies in his stomach, but he's like, embrace it, consume it, control it, use it. And that's how he like not got on the kill streak, because he just started cutting guys up, because he starts saying, well, I bet this guy could last 3 rounds, but when he gets cut up, well, a lot of those guys never seen their own blood, So like, that's why if I have one goal or one thing I could have done, and if I could change myself in the past, change myself in 2019 when I was 14 years old, not to stress.
I love that. And the last one here, what is something you do every day that you are proud of?
Every day that I'm proud of? Something that I do every day that I'm proud of, teaching kids classes. Yeah. Teaching kids classes. The reason why I like teaching kids classes is because, very simple, I want to make these kids that are on the fight team and stuff, seeing them and making them killers and making them savages. Because the reason why is because like, and it's not just a teaching aspect, just making them like be like savages, but also like, when you you tease a little version of themselves, and now they're getting older, now they want to get you back. Like, I remember B, he would just like lay on me and just joke around me and just noogie me and stuff like in class. Then it's like, now it's like, dude, he can't do that, and he's like, I have to use all my way, So when you look at these, so the reason why I'm proud of it every day is because the fact is like, oh, they're gonna like, they look up to me and I'm like a role model. But the fact is, they're like a little version of myself when I was 14 years old, or 13 or 12 or 11 or 6, doesn't matter. And then just seeing them skyrocket and grow up and become savages, man, like that makes me happy as a coach, because not only I'm making them basically be a better version of themselves, or make them, accomplish what they want to do, but I appreciate it, because it's like I joke around them and tease them, and then they're like, they try to get me with a choke or something, and I'm like, no, you're not doing this to me, because this is not happening. You can't do this, because I'm not getting embarrassed by your parents, because I don't want to be the coach getting tapped out,
That's
but like,
awesome.
I appreciate teaching every day, and that's one thing I appreciate doing every day.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Dylan, Lieutenant Dan Majeste. All right, my man. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Wait, before I let you go, is there anything that we didn't talk about that you want to talk about?
Not really.
No? Cool.
Because
That's it.
Yeah.